What is going on, everybody? This is episode 131 of Pop Culture Crisis. It is a hectic day. My name is Brett. I'm here with my co-host. Introduce yourself, please.
Hello, crisis actors. It's Mary.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Are you doing good?
Other than the extremely frazzled nerves that I'm experiencing right now, I was trying to figure all this stuff out with the verdict and everything. I'm doing fantastic. Other than the frazzled nerves, we have a guest host today. Please introduce yourself.
I am sorry that everything's so frazzled. We were trying to get everything set up for the verdict this afternoon, but we are just not able to make it in time. We have reporters on the ground from timcast.com, and they're not there yet.
They're not there yet.
So we're just in a waiting pattern. We'll see what we can do. We're flying by the seat of our pants. It's going to be fun.
I still can't, there's not really any way to kind of, they're standing. You can't hear audio. Can you guys hear audio? Can you check the live stream? If anybody can watch the Independent, the live stream of it from the Independent, tell me if they can hear the audio from it, because I still cannot.
I couldn't a minute ago.
Can you check right now? And we're about to
do.
get the verdict any minute now.
Oh, I can just hear you, which is not what I was going for.
Okay, no, go for it. We're looking for YouTube.
Yeah,
that's okay. We're figuring it out as we go here. So I'm going to just go through here. So you have the here, but I don't know if we'd be able to hear it here.
I don't think we can hear the Independent. Yeah.
Okay.
No,
all right.
There's no sound yet.
Guys, anybody watching? Is anybody watching in the live stream? Can they hear the audio from it and tell us?
That's a great question. I noticed a lot of people were saying, where's the audio? What's going on? And I know that sometimes they mute audio in courtrooms.
Yeah, I don't know if what's going on right now is that, but we're going to just, we were waiting for, originally Hannah Claire was going to come up, and we were going to have her come up and give us the verdict in person, but I do not think that is actually going to work, so I think we'll just go with it. We're going to go right now. They're about to read it at any point here. Does anybody in the chat think that this is actually going to be a guilty verdict, or do they think that she's going to walk away free? Anybody here? You?
I don't think she's going to walk away free. I also don't think she's going to be made to pay Johnny $100 million. I think she might be made to pay damages, but I guess we'll see.
I thought that because it was a civil suit, they wouldn't have like a guilty or not guilty verdict.
Yeah, it would just be like whether they're actually going to. I'm smiling here. I can't hear it, guys. Sorry, guys. We were trying to get reporters on the ground. We're struggling with that here, but it looks like it's coming through.
Probably not going to make it in time.
Yeah.
People are saying they can't hear the courtroom anyway.
Okay.
So,
all right, guys.
All good.
So we're following through here. I wish we could hear. That's a bummer. But do you want to just talk about the case then for now and see what's going on? Okay. So right now, I polled everyone down in the room, and everyone said that they think Johnny's going to win. I don't know if I buy that, but we're going to have to see how that goes. I really wish we could hear the audio on this,
okay.
but that's pull it up on your phone. Can somebody pull it up on their phone? I want to be able to hear it.
Let's see.
All right.
See what I can do.
We're working on it.
So Johnny went to a concert, right?
Yes.
And he performed at a concert?
Twice this weekend, yep.
What the heck?
I also saw that he was like partying backstage with Kate Moss.
Oh, so they're having fun reconnecting. That's interesting. I saw people complaining that obviously he's not canceled since he's going out and playing concerts and everything. And I just want to say, I don't really think that's what it's about. I feel like if he can prove that although he wasn't really able to prove that he lost Pirate 6 because of this,
I can't hear it even on my phone.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah, I was looking at the live stream in court the other day, and they mute it quite often.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so they're muting it.
Yeah,
over and over again. Okay, so we're just gonna talk about it then.
Yeah,
the hell with it. I don't know if I buy that he's going to win $50 million, but I do believe that that he wins.
If he did, then what would that mean? Would that mean that Amber Heard is just going to be in
debt
to him?
Very big debt for a very long time.
Oh,
that's,
no. Amber Heard has ties to Elon Musk, doesn't she?
So she'll be able to pay for it.
But would he come to save the day?
He might have to. I think she has I think she donated an egg to Elon or something.
Yeah.
I think they have like a family tie, don't they?
Yep.
That's really weird. Elon's weird.
It would be, like I said, my favorite thing that would happen right now is if like he walked in the courtroom if Johnny wins and then he just writes him a check for $50 million and then
he's
leaves.
Like, goodbye.
Yeah. that would be the coolest part about that.
Yeah.
Oh, jury didn't. What did Hannah Claire just say?
What did she say?
Jury didn't fill out the compensatory damages paperwork correctly, so they have to go back to the deliberation room.
Oh!
So now we know the verdict is going to be later than expected.
Oh, that's good for us.
Okay, that's good for us.
Right.
Well, it's good if it comes in the time span of our show.
Right.
If
Yes.
it's even later than the show,
We can talk about it when it comes out.
So,
Yeah.
would you guys in the chat? Can you say, would you guys want us to like? I don't know if we could do it, but like just like live stream like while it's before it goes on. But I just
Sure.
don't know if we'd be able to do that. We got.
comment a 1 if yes.
Yes,
2 if
perfect. Yeah.
I just I apologize, guys. This is a very disordered and hectic
Strong
start to the show.
I call
but
that.
that's what it is.
I
Since-
like it.
Since Mary likes it, Mary loves the chaos. Since it is hectic, you guys just want to get in and just do the regular part of the show and just start
Yeah,
like
sure.
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
So it's like I was like,
We'll keep an eye on this.
We will keep an eye on it. We will figure it out. Let's go like this. And what I'm going to do is we're just going to go ahead and get right into the first topic here.
All right.
Did you guys see this report? Bradley Cooper?
Cooper.
It's such a
That's
day
great, yeah.
to start. I love you guys. I love everyone watching too. Thank you.
Thank you for bearing
I don't know
with
who
us.
Bradley Cooper is, but he's probably in the comment section.
Right.
Bradley Cooper is accused of ethnic cosplay over Leonard Bernstein role. I actually finally got to see West Side Story, the remake, and it is extremely subpar. As far as I like, he was the composer for the original West Side Story. So it says Bradley Cooper's transformation to portray legendary composer and conductor Leonard Bernstein is in the film Maestro. Has sparked praise online and criticism from those who believe a Jewish man should have been cast in the role.
Never heard that one before.
Yeah, it's a new one. I'm excited
I mean,
for
I've
this
heard
one.
that for like LGBT characters that they believe only LGBT
Yes.
actors
Same
should play
energy.
them, or
Yeah.
like if it's a disability, like the character has a disability, they only want a disabled actor
Yeah,
to play
that's
them.
well. They did that with Scarlett Johansson. Got pulled off of that movie that she was going to
Right.
make, where she was going to play a
Mhm.
transgender
Yeah.
character, and then that movie ended up getting just completely canned and canceled because they weren't able to make it because she was the one that they needed to. She had the star power to do so.
right.
And when I think about this movie, is like I was thinking about who they could have cast, and the first name that came to mind, because one of the main criticisms here wasn't necessarily just that he's not Jewish; it's that he's not old enough. They think because they kind of have to make him look older than he is. If you look at this photo of him right here, it's actually really fascinating. Look at the photo. It's in the article there. He looks 20 years older in that's him in the top in the white shirt.
Yeah.
So he looks 20 years
Wow.
older.
Oh yeah, he's the wrong age. Too.
Yeah, so I
Interesting.
thought that was kind of fascinating, and I was
Is
like,
it ageist to
Uh,
cast
that-
a young person as an older person?
It's just not correct.
it would be
you know?
ageist, but
yeah.
I would have liked them to cast James Caan. He might be too old.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
James Caan would have been perfect for a role like this, or even if we're going
Sean
slightly.
Connery?
Well, I'm saying if we wanted to. Thank you. Oh
Oh
We-
no.
guys, we are distracted.
We are way
we were
out.
so distracted.
We're trying to get the Johnny Depp verdict thing set up. I was gonna say it looks to me like I think
Sha-
that Sean Connery.
Well, no,
would
no.
have
Like I would have liked
good
to have seen,
match.
or Jeff Goldblum is
Oh,
younger
yeah.
as well. Hava Owens, what is going on, dude? He says, "What's up, Crisis Crew? Time for another hit show."
Yes,
it is a very hectic and disordered show, but it's
Hit or
going to be
miss
fun.
show, am I right?
It is going to be fun nonetheless. That I do know. But so I would have liked to have seen James Caan, or Jeff Goldblum is older, but not elderly.
Right.
James Caan's pretty old. I think he's in his 70s or his 80s.
Right.
If you wanted to go younger, Alan Arkin would have been a good
Right.
actor to choose for that. Or there was another one that I really... Adrian Brody. He might be too young as
yeah.
well. But those are all actors. If they wanted to do the bit about being that they had to be of Jewish... if they had to be Jewish to play the role, right?
Yeah.
So it says, responding to Netflix's photos.
Woo!
Thank you.
That's
Thank
for
you.
Hava Owens.
Thank you.
Thank
It says, responding to Netflix's photos, which also showed Carey Mulligan in character as Bernstein's wife, Felicia Montalegre. Is that how you pronounce that last
No
name?
idea.
Montalegre. Daniel Feinberg, who served as chief television critic for The Hollywood Reporter, accused the show of ethnic cosplay, which is not a term I had ever heard in my entire life, but
It's absolutely ridiculous that they would say he appeared to have slightly darker skin.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure if he went to the beach for a day, he'd look the same.
So he says, my
Completely
question is, how
fabricated.
many pounds of latex would it take to make Bradley Cooper into an elderly Jewish man?
It is low key kind of showing their anti-Semitism if they think it's like so dramatic
I know.
of a difference.
I know. Well, but look at it. Like he looks like him. Like he actually looks like him in that photo. So they did a good job of like the makeup department did a good job of getting. It's not like he's playing a generic person. He's looking to appear like an actual specific individual.
Right.
And that is not easy to do. So it says, the problem, by the way, is enough latex that somebody could probably find it a hair problematic. So I feel like he's showing his own prejudices here about it.
All they do.
My problem with it is like, look, in your chosen profession, if Bradley Cooper feels strongly about this movie like he does with a lot of his roles where he writes and directs, A Star is Born, like when he feels passionately about it, if this is a story that he really wanted to tell, who are we to tell him that he can't do that? It's acting. That's literally the point of it. Acting. Like in a multicultural society, the idea is that if this composer meant something to him or his work meant something to him, it should matter that he wants to help convey the story in a way that his talents as a director and as an actor should be able to help portray. Who is the public to tell him he can't do that?
Here's the thing. I am starting to think that they don't actually want multiculturalism anymore. That was what we had in the 90s, and that is what we're losing now because these people refuse to allow people to do their own thing. Now, if they were to allow people to exercise their own freedoms and portray whoever they wanted to, however they wanted to, you can have issues with what he's done, but you cannot try to cancel him. Just be like, I think that they should have cast a Jewish man. Period. Done. Okay.
It says a number of other Twitter users chimed in on the matter, with one saying, anybody else weirded out by Bradley Cooper donning enormous amounts of makeup and prosthetics to pretend to be an elderly Jewish man? Surely there are elderly Jewish actors that could have played the role. That's where I said James Caan would have been fantastic in that role. But look, if he's like a lot of the times to get stuff like this made, the name like we mentioned with Scarlett Johansson, the name recognition of the actor involved plays a heavy role in the movie getting its financing.
That might have been what they were going for.
And it's a Netflix movie, so if Netflix says, look, we want to make this movie, but he comes to them, he wants to be involved, then that requires him to be involved. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're just going to read it as we go,
I
think.
It.
Just because...
Is that better for saving time?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it says, Johnny needs to turn back to Amber as he's walking out of the courtroom and say, you'll always remember this as the day you almost caught Captain Jack Sparrow. Oh, my. If he did that, I think that would actually propel him into legend status.
Of course.
As the one playing the absolute madcap.
The only thing is that he said that she would never see his eyes again, so he can't do that.
Someone else
unless
said
he's wearing sunglasses.
The verdict is a moot point. Johnny already won.
Yep.
Heard will never work again, and Depp's next movie will sell gangbusters. I wouldn't say that makes the verdict a moot point, but yeah, I mean, for sure in the court of public opinion, he has won.
And she has 2 movies coming out very recently. We were actually going to talk about that tomorrow, but she has they listed them as blockbusters. I don't actually think blockbuster. They were like mid-level thrillers, but we'll see where that goes. Like I think she'll continue to. We said this yesterday. I think she'll continue to work. I don't think that she'll get as many big budget roles, but that was her Aquaman and everything to do with the DC universe was kind of her big stepping stone into the industry. I just don't know if you can outrun this bad press. He had 30 years or 20 years entrenched in the business before all this. So could he be propelled back to mainstream status? I believe so.
Oh, for sure.
I think he'll come out of this.
He'll be fine. He will bounce back.
I'd like to see him and Brad Pitt do like a buddy comedy together.
That'd be hilarious.
After this.
Agreed.
Like just make it full 90s and like just remake Fight Club with him and Brad Pitt as elderly men.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yes, Mary.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what we need to do. So it boggles my mind in regards to this case. It says he wrote the score for West Side Story. I do kind of have a funny issue with like how much they push these kind of I don't know who actually cares about seeing this. Like, I don't personally care about seeing this movie, but I do believe that if you're making the movie, that the people, especially about people within the industry, people that are like students of the game, people in the film industry that love the business side of it and loved it, probably want to make this. I don't know how many average people that aren't cinephiles actually want to go and see this.
It's like they say, you don't write for writers. And I have a huge objection with his issue with Carey Mulligan playing Felicia, because I looked up a picture of the two of them, and I don't know if I can hold this up and show you guys, but they look incredibly similar.
Send me. Can you see it?
I'm just gonna show you guys.
Oh, it
changed that.
This
is my favorite episode.
The
this is
touch screen. Okay.
Yes.
Somehow more off the rails than when a Crisis Partied in here, and then
Yes.
Hannah
Well,
Claire,
if we
not
get
focus for the rest of the episode.
That's what they look like.
If we get a Crisis Party today, I will absolutely probably have a panic attack. So
no, we're not gonna do that.
That means it needs.
That means
to
it needs to happen. Of course.
Go.
Thank you. That's beautiful. And now with audio and everything involved, yeah, great, fantastic.
Yes.
So it says he passed away in 1990 at the age of 72. What do they do from here? Like, do we just stop making movies for?
No.
What was it you said? You said
Carey Mulligan is perfectly
No,
cast.
I'm saying you said stop making art for they're
Art
making
for artists,
yeah,
writing for writers.
the goal is to make it for people that actually want to go see this stuff. Now, I will say that doing it for Netflix is actually pretty good.
That's fine.
Like, it's not like it's going straight to the theaters where I don't know if I need to see a documentary about Bernstein on a huge cinematic screen, but at home on Netflix, yeah, I could spend the time watching that. Like, I'm not sure if I would, because composers aren't like, actually, I would actually love to see a movie about Hans Zimmer when he passes, or a movie about John Williams.
I have a lot of composers I would love to watch biopics of.
There's a composer that I really love named Ramin Djawadi. He did the theme and the score for Game of Thrones.
Oh, very cool. Yeah,
it would be very cool because he has a very unique approach to his music. I would love to see something on somebody like that. I don't know if I would ever actually get a chance to do that.
I want the composers from like those spaghetti westerns.
Yeah,
that'd be so cool.
Or even just doing it about genres and time periods
Right.
Of music. That would be
Music
cool.
history. That'd
So
be fun, yeah.
I don't know if that's something we'll ever actually get to see, but it would be cool. But I just think that this is one of those things that they're making a big something about nothing, because the first thing that I thought of was the stuff with Scarlett Johansson.
Exactly.
So it says he was the youngest conductor ever to lead the New York Philharmonic, in addition to being the first U.S. conductor to rise to. Thank you, Curtis Terry. It says, you want to go ahead and read it? Sorry.
Sure. Hey, Lids, I never got your reach out about the gorilla shirt. Should I send an email? Oh, and it wasn't just the green shirt. It was the black shirt, too?
I don't have any more of those. I remember the first run that was super scandalous that they tried to get us in trouble for, which was literally just a misprint.
Okay, it just something went wrong in the printing process.
We don't have it anymore. I'm sure of it. I am sorry. I hate
Which
to
one
be
is
the
that?
bad
Which
news.
it's not the one that it's not the Dogecoin one.
No. It is just I am a gorilla t-shirt, but it is a lot darker than it should be.
Okay.
Very
Okay.
scandalous.
So then we go back here, and then this is the other one. This is the one that says Bradley Cooper blasted for fake nose in Netflix Leonard Bernstein movie.
Boy.
What are they supposed to do? It's literally to make him look like the person.
Right.
It's not like they're doing it to be disrespectful. They're doing it for actual legitimate reasons.
Right.
I just don't know if this is something that people need to complain about. It says, who the F made the conscious decision to say, oh, yes, we'll put a prosthetic nose on a non-Jewish man to play a Jewish person?
Whoever wanted him to look like a Jewish man.
Yes, brilliant idea. Definitely not anti-Semitic or damaging stereotype in any way. It's literally what the person looked like about a person that's in the movie.
Every time they call stuff like this out, it's because they're projecting. Every time.
Yeah.
No one else is thinking about this. There's a reason they call them dog whistles, because only dogs hear them. If you're the only ones thinking it's anti-Semitic, maybe you should look in the mirror, honestly.
Yeah. Says another Twitter wondered, you could hire an old Jewish actor instead of slapping on a prosthetic nose. That is some anti-Semitic bull F. Yeah. I do think that maybe they could have done that, but would you have found one with the name recognition that Bradley Cooper has?
I mean, I guess I see the side of what they're saying that is like, sometimes you cast actors or actresses that don't look like who they're supposed to be, and you don't actually need to prosthetically change them to make them look more like that.
Yeah.
Like, they just cast Priscilla Presley as someone who does not look like her at all.
Right.
In the upcoming, okay, then we might as well just go ahead and move on and talk about
You think
those.
so?
Okay, so we're gonna move on. We're gonna talk about. Do you want to start with your article here?
Sure.
Okay.
Did we have another one?
I had just the original review up. So this one is. Wait, guys.
Something going
back.
on.
I heard noise.
Nope. We thought we had it.
It's like they turned the sound on
this is going to be
alarm.
the best part. Is this is going to be the most impossible episode to edit later? Like
Good luck with
trying to
this.
figure this all out. So, all right. So we just go ahead and start with your article, Mary.
Sure. Okay. So here's what's happening. Here's the gist of it. Baz Luhrmann just directed this biopic of Elvis Presley. It's just titled Elvis. It's coming out later this month. I'm pretty excited to see it, but yesterday I came across a Twitter thread that kind of blew up. It was from a relatively small account, and it kind of blew up because it was calling for a mass boycott of the movie. They're saying that we shouldn't support it because of allegations, concerns. I don't know if I want to say it's all absolutely verifiable, that he groomed his ex-wife, Priscilla Presley. So I looked into this and I found some pretty disturbing details about their relationship and their marriage. What's going on over there?
We're going back to the. We're gonna go back to it. This is hilarious.
Okay.
We're literally, guys. This is more like a live stream rather than an
That's
episode.
okay.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Whoa.
Here we
This
go.
is a lot right now.
We got an echo. Where's our echo coming from?
It's because we're watching it on. It's my phone that they're hearing it on. Oh, thank you.
Woo!
Oh.
My.
Oh man.
Let me see if people can hear this.
They're saying no sound for us.
Yeah, can you hold it up to the phone if you have it on your phone? Or hold it up to the mic?
Faced our culture's wrath. That has to
It's
change.
muted.
In the Washington Post online edition,
It's already muted.
quote, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change, end quote. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes. Has Mr. Depp proven by a greater weight of the evidence that question, the statement was made or published by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was about Mr. Depp. Answer.
Can you guys hear it now?
Yes.
Looks like they can hear it
Question,
better.
the statement was false. Answer, yes. Question, the statement has a defamatory implication about Mr. Depp. Answer, yes. Question, the defamatory implication was designed and intended by Ms. Heard. Answer, yes. Question, due to circumstances surrounding the publication of the statement, it conveyed a defamatory
I muted that.
implication to someone who saw it other than Mr. Depp. Answer, yes. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven by clear and convincing evidence that Ms. Heard acted with actual malice? Answer,
I can't hear
yes.
Mm-mm.
2. As to the statement appearing in the op-ed entitled A Transformative Moment for Women in the Washington Post print edition and the online op-ed, Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change. In the Washington Post online edition.
Does this mean he's
Quote,
winning?
Then 2 years ago, I
And how
became
much?
a public figure
want to know how much.
representing domestic abuse, and I felt the full force of our culture's wrath for women who speak out, end quote. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes. Has Mr. Depp proven by a greater weight of the evidence that, question, the statement was made or published by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was false? Answer, yes. Question, the statement has a defamatory implication about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes.
Yes to all.
Question, the defamatory implication was designed and intended by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, due to circumstances surrounding the publication of the statement, it conveyed a defamatory implication to someone who saw it other than Mr. Depp?
Is this shocking anyone?
No.
Is it anybody? We've been silent the whole time. Is anybody shocked by this?
Clear and convincing evidence that Ms. Heard acted with actual malice. Answer, yes.
Oh, snap.
3. As to the statement appearing in the op-ed entitled "A Transformative Moment for Women" in the Washington Post print edition and the online op-ed, Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change. In the Washington Post online edition. Quote, I had the rare vantage point of seeing in real time how institutions protect men accused of abuse.
Please.
End quote. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Evidence. That question. The statement was made or published by Ms. Heard. Answer, yes. Question. The statement was about Mr. Depp. Answer, yes. Question. The statement was false. Answer, yes.
Got you.
Question. The statement has a defamatory implication about Mr. Depp. Answer, yes. Question. The defamatory implication was designed and intended by Ms. Heard. Answer, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Question. Due to circumstances surrounding the publication of this statement, it conveyed a defamatory implication to someone who saw it other than Mr. Depp. Answer, yes. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven by clear and convincing evidence that Ms. Heard acted with actual malice? Answer, yes. As against Amber Heard, we, the jury, award compensatory damages in the amount of $10 million.
10.
As
Okay.
against Amber
Okay.
Heard, we, the jury, award punitive damages in the amount of $5 million. In civil case number CL 2019-2911, Ms. Heard's claim against Mr. Depp. 1. As to this statement, appearing in the April 8, 2020 online edition of the Daily Mail, quote, Amber Heard and her friends in the media use fake sexual violence
thank you.
Thank you.
as both a sword and shield, depending on their needs.
Crisis party.
They have selected
Yeah, it's
some of her
incoming.
sexual
Oh,
violence
no.
facts
Brett's
as
going to have a
sword,
mental crisis.
inflicting them on
That's the best
Excited
public
part.
about that, yeah.
and Mr. Depp.
Well, at least
Do you
Amber's
find
hair
that
looks
Ms.
good.
Heard has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, no. 2. As to this statement, appearing in the April 27th, 2020 online edition of the Daily Mail, quote, quite simply, this was an ambush, a hoax. They set Mr. Depp up by calling the cops, but the first attempt did not do the trick. The officers came to the penthouses, thoroughly searched and interviewed, and left after seeing no damage to face or property. So Amber and her friends spilled a little wine and roughed the place up, got their story straight under the direction of a lawyer and publicist, and then placed a second call to 911, end quote. Do you find that Ms. Heard has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes. Has Ms. Heard proven by a greater weight of the evidence that question, Mr. Waldman,
You can
while
see on her
acting
face.
as an agent
Okay.
for
She's
Mr.
actually
Depp,
going to cry.
made or published the statement? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was about Ms. Heard. Answer, yes. Question, the statement was seen by someone other than Ms. Heard. Answer, yes. Question, the statement was false. Answer, yes. Do you find that Ms. Heard has proven by clear and convincing evidence
How
that
much
the
is
statement
10
by
billion
Mr.
to Elon
Waldman
Musk?
was made with actual
10
malice?
billion?
Answer,
Million.
10
Yes.
million. It's like a drop in the bucket.
He'll do it.
3.
Probably.
As to this statement, appearing in the April 27th,
Not that she deserves
2020 online edition of the Daily Mail, quote, we've reached the beginning of the end of Ms. Heard's abuse hoax against Johnny Depp, end quote. Do you find that Ms. Heard has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, no. As against John C. Depp II, we, the jury, award compensatory damages in the amount of $2 million. As against John C. Depp II, we, the jury, award punitive damages in the amount of $0.
Does either side wish to have the jury polled?
Yes, Your Honor.
Jamie?
Members of the jury, if this is your verdict, please answer yes. If this is not your verdict, please answer no. Juror number 6. Juror number 10. Juror number 15. Juror number 16. Juror number 22. Juror number 27. Juror number 29.
I do find that the jury's verdict is unanimous. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes your service in this case. I want to thank you again for your dedication and your hard work.
Oh, snap.
Everybody here.
I was wondering where it was.
We appreciate your sacrifices and your time and
Nice.
your public
I feel like I'm in
Thank
Chicken
you.
City. Thank you.
So I'm going to have you go back to the jury deliberation for one more time, and then we'll release you from there, okay? All right, thank you.
Oh my gosh. This is getting intense.
It's literally
Poor Brett.
hitting Lydia in the face.
The face. Thank you, guys. I know what they call that, but I won't say it here. Ah! Shut up, Brett.
10 million.
10 million.
Woo!
That was literally our crisis. Like that was we had our crisis
Perfect
party just
timing,
as
yeah.
Johnny Depp was getting his verdict in. Look at that.
Wow.
Awesome.
Okay, that is good, guys. I
Yay.
can't believe that they actually did the whole
gosh.
thing, and like they've said yes to literally everything that they said there.
Right.
That was
Holy
insane.
moly.
I don't know. Actually, I'm honestly kind of shocked. I don't know what. Maybe I'm just kind of like black pilled in a way. Like I was like, I don't think he's gonna
What?
win. Like I just didn't think he's gonna win. Even though I believe that he was defamed, I didn't think he was gonna win because I just didn't see it happening.
15 million
Fi-
she has to pay him.
Like I said, where's Elon Musk? He needs
Was
to
it
just
10 or 15?
10
15
compensatory and 15
Yeah.
punitive, or the other way around.
Okay.
Yeah, an extra 5.
That is absolutely insane.
She did
guys.
defame him.
She
Oh,
did.
it is hard to prove defamation, but they
Yes.
did it. Wow, I'm impressed with his lawyer. That's awesome.
Now the real insult to injury is like him and Camille Vasquez go walk off into the
Walk off
sunset
into the
together.
sunset,
Like,
suck out.
that's-
Oh
I've
my
been
gosh.
thinking that because when
Yeah,
she
they're
was
adorable.
asked about whether they're dating, she didn't say anything.
She's like, I mean, we're not
Not
dating.
dating,
What do you know,
yeah.
guys? I'm not sure. Like that's it just and look, he's just gonna soak up all the energy in the room as all the people out there like waiting to tell Johnny Depp. Like I said, I don't think this does anything for us as a society.
I think
Uh,
it does.
I
really don't think
Do
Okay,
so.
no, I do not. I'll
what
tell
do you
what.
think it does?
Okay.
I will tell you why. Because he has an enormous amount of money to fight these allegations.
True.
The average person does not have the money, if
True.
they're defamed, whether man or woman, to go to court and tell them, like, look, they defamed me, this happened. I don't think it does it. I think maybe it's a shift that society is kind of changing in a weird way, that like
Yeah.
people see through a little bit of the BS. But I'm not sure if that really means that society is changing so much as like the morbid curiosity about celebrities is
Trending
still
with hashtag truth wins.
That-
I like it. I think it's great because it's been such a long time since someone's actually took a stand for, I'm not going to say men's rights because men's rights activism has such a bad rap, but
Yeah.
I think this is justice. I really do. I think this is the only fair thing to do, and I think that women have too long had the run of the run of the coop or whatever you would call it, and they can get away with almost literal murder.
Yep. I want to go back and thank Joe Duraki, aka
Wow.
Jay
Thank
Jay
you.
Drizzle. Dude, thank you so much. It says crisis party.
Woo!
Lids, can I see Tim hand you a Chris Benjamin on IRL
That'd be
because this
awesome.
one's for you.
Woo,
So we're
awesome,
gonna have
thank
to
you.
we're gonna have to see if you can do that on IRL. You're gonna have to go after this episode
See,
and
Should I go
watch
back and read the other
yes.
super
Yep.
chats?
Yeah,
read 'em all.
yeah.
I just wanted to do that one first.
That one's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
Joe.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, Curtis Terry added, I have both versions of the misprint and was going to send you guys one and discuss something about it.
Oh,
Ah, okay.
interesting.
Hava Owen said, dude, I saw that Elvis trailer and was put off by it a bit, let alone his
Yeah.
history that is out there, groomer and racist.
She was
Whoa, I didn't
14.
know that.
She was
Yeah.
14.
We are going to get to
we
that.
are going to get to. Do we talk about it, or do we I think we should keep talking about Depp. We
we're
listened
we're
to
going
most
with
of it.
the flow.
Sure.
Let's
We're going
start.
so I think to me, covering most of it is like some of these channels have covered it so extensively, and I have like the utmost respect to be able to like sit through and watch all of this trial coverage, which is why like a lot of people, they're like mad at us because like we thought we didn't know the verdict wasn't going to come back last Friday. I'm like, we've covered the broad strokes of this, and even if you're just covering the broad strokes, it's so uncomfortable how bad these two people were to each other. But I do believe that you have to get away from the thought of like, is this about whether they're bad to one another, and did she actually do something to cost him money?
Even if they are bad to each other, at the end of the day, there is such a thing as concrete, observable justice.
Explain that.
I mean that there is a case of who was wrong and who was right, at least in this instance of this editorial that she wrote. And it was pretty clear, at least to the jury, that she went out of her way to do damage to him.
What's interesting to me about it is kind of scary because I went back and reread it, right? So when this came out, I didn't pay super close attention to it. I just skimmed it and thought maybe I didn't read the whole thing because I was like, it seemed short. I went back and reread it. It's quite a short op-ed. It's not very long.
Right.
It's really just
she's
that
not very
opening
smart.
half a paragraph in which any of this gets talked about. So it was interesting to me that like that all that damage is done off something that small.
It's interesting.
When I read it, honestly, I wasn't sure. I'm no legal expert, but I wasn't sure that it really insinuated anything defamatory.
Well,
But then the after effect was that it damaged his
affected her
career.
reputation.
So
Yeah.
So the context is like, okay, so we weren't that, like, we're looking at it now, like, at the time when she wrote this, even though she doesn't say his name, right? It's still very clear who she was just recently married to.
She said that she came out publicly representing domestic abuse. She never said, like, I came out as a victim of domestic abuse to my ex spouse. Like,
right, yeah.
there was nothing that specific in it, and that's why.
Well, she says in that article, she says as a survivor of domestic abuse, and that somebody have to pull up.
Did she? I don't think she.
I'm gonna pull it up.
She said she came out publicly.
I'm gonna pull it up.
Representing domestic abuse, I believe.
I am so intrigued by this because Tim constantly talks about how difficult it is to prove defamation against a public figure. Apparently, in this case, it was clear enough to them, and I don't think it was a matter of culture pressing on them. I think it was a case of actually looking at what she said. And sometimes in defamation, I know that it can come down to the words. Very specific words they use in the title or whatever.
Okay, so it says, it says, I was exposed to abuse at a very young age. I knew certain things early on without ever having to be told. I knew that men have the power physically, socially, and financially, and that a lot of institutions support that arrangement. I knew this long before I had the words to articulate it, and I learned, and I bet you learned young too. She didn't articulate it. Technically, an ACLU lawyer articulated it.
Yep.
So it says, like many women, I had been harassed and sexually assaulted by the time I was of college age, but I kept quiet. I did not expect filing complaints to bring justice, and I didn't see myself as a victim. Then 2 years ago, I became a public figure representing domestic abuse. I felt the full force of our culture's wrath for women who speak out. Friends and advisors told me I would never work again as an actress, that I would be blacklisted. A movie I was attached to recast my role. I had just shot a 2-year campaign as the face of a global fashion brand, and the company dropped me. Questions arose as to whether I would be able to keep my role as Mera in the Justice League and Aquaman. I had the rare vantage point. Thank you. I had the rare vantage points of seeing in real time how institutions protect men accused of abuse. So the implication is there. That even though she doesn't say it explicitly, thank you.
Yeah, but she just never said that about like I'm a survivor of domestic abuse at the hands of.
But it's implied with the part about saying that I had been. It's clever language, is what you're saying. Like it's very clever language,
which is why I think it would be so hard for the jury to deliberate over this. And I can't imagine how difficult it would be to like avoid being swayed by all of this on social media and just people talking about it everywhere.
5 men and 2 women on the jury. It was a unanimous vote. That's what I saw earlier. It was 5 men, 2 women.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Watch the Amber Heard supporters complain about the fact that the jury wasn't balanced.
So it says then 2 years ago I became a public figure representing domestic abuse. Who hasn't been domestically abused?
I just. When I wrote about it, I was like, that statement is still true, but just ironically the
Ironically,
other way
the other way
around.
around. I am
You're still a public figure representing domestic abuse.
Yes,
As the perpetrator. Didn't get into that.
It's very strange for me to talk about this stuff because I have a hard time. Maybe it's just instinct from a time that seems long forgotten to give like her the benefit of the doubt, which she has consistently proven to not really deserve.
Or are you just simping?
Maybe before the picture of the crap in the bed, that will drain it out.
Take it right out of you.
But your instinct as men used to be to give women the benefit of the doubt. Always, that still seems to be the process, right? When there's domestic violence calls by to police officers, right? Is to assume that the man is the abuser.
It's obviously a unique situation because Amber Heard is a very powerful woman.
Yes.
She's very influential. She has notoriety. She has money. She has her looks.
And remember,
most women don't have any of those things.
And remember, yesterday we talked about the one article we read was talking about power dynamics being the core of it. That she couldn't be. A lady yesterday literally said that there's no such thing as mutual abuse in relationships, which is insane.
Yeah, and then there's Julia Fox saying that because he was wealthier, he was more established in his career and older.
Yeah.
But that's kind of denying the power that comes with being a young, beautiful starlet.
Yeah.
Like, that's a real thing.
Yeah, well, one of the things that we always talked about on Timcast IRL was that women start life in easy mode and men start life in hard mode. And then over time, men get into easy mode as they get more money and experience, and women go into harder mode. It's just the way it is, unfortunately. And people like to fight against that, but you really can't.
You cannot. So it's I don't know. Do you guys are you guys happy with this outcome? Is this something I don't know if that's the language for it. Neutral?
I don't think I don't know. What do you think that the verdict does for society as a whole? Because I feel like this is so isolated to the Hollywood bubble that it really doesn't represent anything that
with any
that
court case,
ordinary people experience.
With any court case, I feel like there's always precedent. And I feel like this sets precedent that women can be abusers, which I think is a huge step in the right direction. I feel like this is a cultural shift.
I have on my good days, I say like, okay, maybe this is a cultural shift in the way that we talk about the relationships between men and women, who can be abuser, who can't. But on my less optimistic days, I'm like, this just is the reaffirmation of our society's cultural obsession with celebrities. I see this more as an obsession with famous people
and with their dysfunction, especially.
Yes, less than the maybe the gender aspect of it plays a role in kind of the the morbid curiosity a lot of people had for it, but I don't know if it really changes anything societally.
To be fair, I would have been happier with the result if she had been more powerful and he had been a younger actor and he'd still ended up winning. But in either case, I'm really glad that a male ended up winning this.
That's I mean, that's just it's hard to imagine that this changes much in society.
It feels negative because there's still that aspect of it that people see it as a proxy war between men and women.
Yeah.
Really, it's about someone's
Stink
private relationship where they both, I'm sure,
were terrible
to each other, and it really, I don't feel like it has anything to do with the public.
We had 2 more super chats. Why don't you read those?
Oh yeah.
Hava Owens said Amber might look good, but her case does not. Down with these liars, scammers, and cheats. Expose all of these fools. One more dent into the grit.
That's correct. That's my thinking. Yeah, I view this.
That's
as
your optimistic take.
Yeah, I'm a little optimistic.
And
sometimes.
then someone named Shane Cashman.
I don't know who that is. His name sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, where do I know that name?
Book or something?
Said trusting you guys to give this cash to Amber, and then I love the pirate flag.
The pirate flag. Yes, there you go.
There you go,
Amber.
Amber.
There's
We
20.
just gave it to her.
Come and get it.
All right. I think we've kind of covered it. Is there anything else you guys would like to say about this about the situation? No.
I feel like that's pretty thorough.
I would like to see. So got that?
Ran out of money again.
That's because we had a crisis party.
That's right.
That's why we had a crisis
The whole
party.
tables
So-
are covered in
crisis
money.
party so far.
I do want to move on and talk about. I kind of wanted to wait and see if Depp comes out and he gets his like crazy cheers. But I don't know if does anybody care to see that? Does anybody in the chat care to see Johnny Depp come out and wave to everybody?
I think Elon Musk should come, and then they should go like duke it out in the parking lot or something.
No,
if we're just gonna go as salacious as possible.
That'd be fun.
It would be funnier if they got back together. I'm telling you, 10 years
No,
later.
that would be Hilarious.
I'm telling you,
Not.
10 years later.
Are they crazy enough?
10 years later, like we've got J-Lo and J-Lo and Ben Affleck back together. I say they just go ahead and do it and get back together in like 10 years. And they're like, look, love is love, man.
Oh my gosh.
We've both grown as people. We're learning and doing better.
Honestly, I feel like if anything, Elon would side with Johnny.
You
He
think
might
so?
be like, yeah, he would
Really?
be like, okay, I
I
understand,
don't know.
brother,
Maybe
hard
he's enough of a
times.
simp for Amber that he'd
I don't know.
swoop in.
To be fair, he has like 8 ladies in his past. He has like 8 kids, 7 kids.
It's a
And
lot.
he is apparently on pretty good terms with all of them. And he's got the money to keep them happy.
He's just
so.
trying to spread the love.
Literally, yeah.
He wants to make sure that he's
He
his,
needs an army.
yeah.
Good for him.
All right, so let's we had
Also,
one
we
more
have
super
another
chat.
super
Oh,
chat.
yeah, one more.
James Eaton said, "This proves you don't just blindly believe women.
Correct.
Men can be victims."
Correct.
You should facts and evidence, like
exactly.
like just is Ben Shapiro going to have like a headline that says Johnny Depp destroys Amber Heard with facts and
and
logic.
logic,
Yeah,
yes.
that's.
Oh, chat points out that Johnny Depp's in England. He's not there right now.
I was okay.
Oh,
so
yeah,
he's not there.
yeah.
Okay, I was like,
Yeah,
I was like,
good
did
for
he
him.
get back from? Yeah, he's
No,
like
good for
in his hotel right
It's
now.
like, can't even be bothered to be there.
And
Good
I'm
for him.
picturing Heard's lawyer just going back to her hotel and crying. I feel bad for.
I was
for-
watching her face more than I was watching Amber Heard's.
Yep.
Amber was, I mean, she did a pretty good job at keeping her.
She's not a
Her
good
expression
actor,
blank.
turns out.
It says this feels needed to balance out the the Brett Kavanaugh trial. Believe all women needs a serious pushback.
That's
yeah,
right. See, that's my thinking. I agree. Yeah,
The-
it's Jessica.
the
Jessica.
funny thing was like the article we read yesterday referenced the rarity of males being abused or like unreported abuse by males, and then they linked back to 2 Kavanaugh articles. They weren't evident. It wasn't to like studies or anything. It was just to like
Kavanaugh articles?
Yeah, to articles about
Give me
Kavanaugh.
an effing break.
You mean they're not using actual evidence?
Amazing,
That's
right?
crazy. That's
Amazing.
crazy.
All right, Mary, we're going to talk about Elvis Presley. This was
Do
your.
we still have time?
We got time.
Oh, yeah, we got time. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I was also surprised to see Priscilla Presley walking on the Met Gala red carpet with Austin Butler, who's playing her dead ex-husband.
Yes.
So when I started looking into their relationship, I found out that they met when she was 14 and he was 24.
Yeah.
While he was stationed
14
in Germany.
and 24.
And I don't know why a 14-year-old would even be
Whose
at a party
parents?
for adults. That's what
Seriously.
we were talking about.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Her
talk about that
parents
'cause-
are like the craziest part.
No, the parents are fascinating in this
Mm-hmm.
case. So the article says opinion critics of upcoming Elvis biopic propose a boycott due to allegations that he groomed his wife. Written by someone who's Mary.
Who is that?
Who is that? I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Go ahead and read. This is your article.
Sure. So, wait, where am I? I missed it.
Well,
You wrote it, woman.
You start usually at the top. That's where articles
Oh,
start.
yeah. Oh, okay. Thanks.
Sorry, I
Brett.
closed it. Okay. Baz Luhrmann's highly anticipated biographical feature on Elvis Presley is coming out later this month on the 24th. I am planning on seeing it personally. And I heard that it got a 12-minute standing ovation at Cannes Film Festival. And it's gotten praised very highly by his daughter Lisa Marie Presley
Interesting.
and Priscilla. I know that critics have given it mixed reviews just because they don't like the pacing of it or they think it's too flashy, like a trailer made into a movie. But Priscilla said that it's a true story told brilliantly and creatively that only Baz in his unique artistic way could have delivered.
That part
Austin-
sounds like the studio told her to say it that
Yeah.
way.
Maybe.
Unless she's like a big Baz Luhrmann fan, I that sounds like studio publicity.
I heard that she actually was like crying and it was like a very emotional
So-
reveal.
This is a weird thing to talk about because she's still very
I
clearly.
don't like that. I don't like the whole like making biopics while people are still
Yeah.
Yeah,
alive
that's
thing.
weird.
Well, he's not. Well, it's not about him or about her.
I
it's
know,
about
but
him.
it's like-
very much
but-
involving her.
I wish that it were like no major characters in the film were still alive because
Yeah.
the story didn't end yet. You know what I mean?
Right. The story's still
But anyway,
ongoing.
she said Austin Butler, who played Elvis, is outstanding. Bravo to him. He knew he had big shoes to fill.
Mhm.
So people have certain things have resurfaced
resurfaced. Remember, whenever
have,
there's no such thing.
Suspiciously resurfaced.
That's not a real
no.
thing.
Nope.
A Twitter thread blew up yesterday calling on audiences to boycott the upcoming biopic over concerns that Elvis groomed and abused his wife Priscilla. The thread included clips from her 1985 interview with Barbara Walters where she detailed dark aspects of their marriage in an incongruously lighthearted tone. So I didn't like it because she was like throwing her head laughing like
That sounds like Stockholm syndrome, right?
totally talking about how like I'll just get into what she was talking about. In multiple instances he like gave her sedating pills where one time she was knocked out for 2 days at a time. She said he had a weird fascination with corpses or the shock value of it. And he multiple times took her to a morgue just for the thrill of it. I don't know if she meant that she was incapacitated at the time that he took her to the morgue.
Huh. Don't like that.
Yeah, she also recalled that he was violent at times. He gave her a black eye once. He threw a chair at her. He just had a very bad temper.
But she speaks about him in glowing terms now.
Yes, and she even said in a positive light that he was like a father to her.
Ooh, that's not good.
Which is kind of a red flag, right?
Super big red flag.
So she moved in with him when she was 15. I think that was like a year after they had originally met, and her parents were very involved in arranging this.
This is the strangest part to me. Her parents were not like deadbeats who just kicked her out. They seem to be involved in every step of the process of their courtship. Like it's like she goes to a party and he's absolutely infatuated with Priscilla Presley, and she goes home. Her parents are like, we don't want you to see him again. He convinces the parents to let him see her. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
To let him see her
so
again.
This is after he went back to the U.S. Like 6 months after they met or something.
Yeah.
So they were communicating with letters, and his girlfriend, who was an adult, named Anita Wood, she was an actress, she found one of the letters that Priscilla sent him that was asking him to call her father so that her father would let her go to visit him.
Wow.
And she was like, I know that he would let me see you. Just call him. And then when Anita Wood confronted Elvis with the letter, like, what's this proof of you like cheating on me with a child?
A minor? What the heck?
He
so
was
mad.
He reacted like in complete outrage. Shoved her up against the closet.
Oh, wow.
She said he was so mad at me, just livid because I had found the letter, and he insisted that it meant nothing. He said, this girl, again, she's just a child. She's just a 14-year-old child. It means absolutely nothing.
Thank you.
She just wants to visit. It means nothing.
Uh-huh.
So soon after, she moved in with him, and then they got married when she was 21.
So the thing is, like, she moves there, but she doesn't live with him. She lives on a separate property, and they claim to this day that they did not consummate the marriage until the night up. Like, they did not have sex until
6 years.
For 6 years,
Sure.
Well, she believes it.
I believe it because I think they did. Like, he still made her do sexual things. Like, she said that he was obsessed with getting pictures of her and having her like pretend to do sexual things without actually doing them.
Okay, so riddle me this. He gave her drugs that completely sedated her, and he was obsessed with corpses, but she says, to her knowledge, they didn't consummate till after they were married. I'm going to call...
her knowledge.
No,
I'm call BS. I don't believe that.
Not just
at
that,
all.
but it's also like you mentioned earlier, says he was the face of...
This is what got me, and I wish I could like analyze this further. He was like such an icon for this sexual awakening of our entire nation.
He was, yeah.
And
extremely provocative in his movements, extremely provocative the way he was able to kind of lure people in with his energy. Like, it's kind of what's scary to me.
And the fact
is
that like behind closed doors he was the most like sexually deranged person and like repressed.
That's not surprising.
That's the interesting part is it's the repression and the fact that and this is my big question overall is like, I have an issue with the way that we as a society, be it the way that the media is, we have all these heroes that we've put on pedestals from prior generations, right? And literally what we're watching is they just get knocked down one after the other.
Ritualistically.
And I do think that will happen to him. It just won't happen until Priscilla Presley passes away.
Because the
she's-
information is already out there.
The information is out there, but she would be able to she would contradict it in her assessment of
Right.
it, and people don't want her ability to counter that narrative to who Elvis Presley was. So as long as she's alive to speak positively about him, they will not tell
Right.
that story. They will tell it as soon as she passes away.
Right. Once you remove that layer of what sounds to me very much like Stockholm
Yeah,
syndrome,
exactly.
you're probably going to get the real story. And I
Exactly.
hope it's gonna be good.
Now, if she was to turn around and say right now that, like, look, it was disgusting, it was depraved, and it shouldn't have happened,
It's not likely.
that is the
that
story
that's
they
ever
would be
gonna
telling.
happen, though.
Right.
She's 77,
Yep.
and at this point, she has nothing but good things to say about him. And so, in this interview, she also said that after she had their daughter, Lisa Marie, they never were intimate
Thank
ever
you.
again.
Yeah.
And then they divorced in 1973 after 6 years of marriage.
Right. Strange.
And he didn't want to get married anyways. That was a big
Yeah,
part of
he
what I
felt
read.
pressured into it.
The dad, her father. This is why I'm saying the parents are fascinating. The father threatened to have him charged with the Mann Act of having a minor transported across
that's
state or federal
interesting.
lines for the purpose of sexual intercourse or whatever that law states. So it's not like the parents weren't involved. It's almost like an arranged, like a weird, like they were
An
doing it
arranged
because they
marriage.
knew it was beneficial
Yep.
to her future to do this. So they sacrificed her innocence and her childhood
For
for
money.
the ability to to have
for what she has now, which
Yes.
is what? Just money.
money
Just
and,
money and
apparently good memories that she thinks she has. It's not
Yeah,
my job to interpret him, but I do think that all of that is just effed up.
it was
like-
really disturbing to see her fondness for him in the interview,
Yeah.
and now she's, walking alongside this younger man who is playing him and
Yuck.
honoring his memory.
Let's be fair to Priscilla. Elvis is the reason she is famous.
Nope.
Without
Totally,
him,
yeah.
she's nothing. She didn't have any other talent, did she?
But did she
She
even
became an
want
actor.
that?
She became an actor. Yeah. Did she even want to be famous?
She didn't know what she wanted. She was a
She's
child.
already young.
They
Child.
both had affairs. He had a morals clause in his RCA contract. That's ironic.
crazy.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my.
yeah. That was no. That
Wow.
says the couple married on May 1st, 1967, at the Aladdin Hotel in Las Vegas. The wedding, arranged by Parker to maximize publicity, featured a few
course.
guests. And was only over 8 minutes long. It was over in only 8 minutes. It was followed by a quick press conference. A
Of
press
course.
conference at your wedding. That's
Yeah,
if that's not
classy.
cynical, I don't know
Ugh.
what is. And a $10,000 breakfast reception attended by friends, family, and business associates. And they talk about when he wanted a divorce that they had to remind him that if you get in trouble for what happened, you're going to get in a lot of trouble. You're going to lose your money. You could get in a lot more trouble than that. So it's kind of terrifying to me. Like, she actually accepted like a smaller settlement at first for the divorce, and then her lawyer is like, "Look, he's worth way more than that. You should get more." Like, she was going to take like a $100,000 lump sum and $1,000 a month in spousal support and $500 for child support, and the lawyer got her like $725,000, which in that time period would be
That was a lot.
a lot of
lot,
money.
Yeah.
So it's just, they both had affairs. It's just the most quintessential Hollywood thing you've ever heard.
Really
They both
is,
had
yeah.
affairs. It was creepy to begin with. It was and like he apparently like tried to take a hit out on the guy she had an affair with
Whew.
in here.
Spicy.
It's so possessive, and
So
it's weird
lascivious.
because even when he was with her, he didn't even.
It was her karate instructor.
Whoa, what?
Named Mike Stone, and it says later that month, says Elvis reportedly became paranoid about Stone and said, "There's too much pain in me. Stone must die." His outburst continued with such intensity that the physician was unable to calm him, even with large doses of medication. After another 2 days of raging, Elvis's friend and bodyguard, Red West, made inquiries to arrange a contract killing of Stone,
Wow.
but was relieved when Elvis said, "Oh hell, let's just leave it for now. Maybe it's a bit heavy." That
You
is such
think?
an insane reaction to the idea that this guy just suggested you guys take a hit out on
He's
someone.
like, yeah,
And
maybe
I just
not.
think it's so interesting that this biopic is basically going to be like, I hope it's good. I'm going to watch it anyways. but it sounds like it's basically going to be a little montage of like his rise to stardom, narrated by Tom Hanks.
The industry didn't want him to succeed. That's what the trailer felt like to me.
It's going to be like he opposed purity culture in the 1950s and 60s.
And good for him.
You guys, is this the way they shoehorn in the idea that 14-year-olds should be able to marry whoever they want?
God, I hope not.
They've been pushing this childhood autonomy.
I mean, the fact that they're
thing.
overlooking it does say a lot.
I'm curious how people respond to this. This is really unsettling.
Well, it's just
most people don't know anything about this.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't know until she told me about that. The problem isn't that people are going to boycott it. The problem is most people won't know that it's actually happening.
Right.
That's the scary part of all this. So.
Well, I've already learned a little bit about the Mann Act, which was really fascinating. I guess it was prohibiting the transport of any woman across any state line for the purpose of woman or girl.
Yeah.
For the purpose of debauchery, prostitution, anything like that.
Yeah.
And it came about in 1910, so it's apparently been going on for quite a while. But this is like an age-old human thing to kind of transport.
And
ladies.
it wasn't even across state lines. She came from Germany. To live with him.
But they were U.S. citizens because her dad was.
Yeah.
Her dad was in the military. So. All right.
I have some super chats here.
Oh, yeah.
Hava Owens said, "Man, these Hollywood people are sickening. Sick and depraved people, I tell you."
Correct.
One of the hardest parts of doing this job is like balancing the love of the art of film and the art of making amazingly emotionally evocative and stirring movies, and then knowing that a lot of the people that make them, not all, are just awful people.
If it helps, I am also a great admirer of art and many, many, many artists of any form, but especially like classical art, some of this really old school stuff. Very creepy, very weird gentleman, still amazing artist.
Didn't Einstein marry his cousin?
Oh, who knows?
He
probably.
did?
Seems right.
I think Einstein married his cousin. Somebody in the chat will have to.
Keep it in the
catch
family.
I'm hearing of this.
That could be like a factoid that I'm missing. There's more super chats.
Yes, St. Miles said, "Yep, it was creepy then, as it is now."
In the most creepy parts that I didn't know that it was not common knowledge.
Especially now that Elvis is being talked about more than usual, you would think that things like this would be a bigger deal to people, but no, let's just keep talking about ethnic cosplaying or whatever. Okay.
Everything has its time.
He did marry his cousin. That's gross.
Caper2X said Hollywood in a nutshell.
Yep. That's
and it goes on.
That's exactly it. It just goes on.
Time.
All right, so I want to. I have this article about View Cinema cancels horror movie screenings over fear that a film is offensive.
What's the point of horror? I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Yes. So I do recommend, guys, you go watch the trailer. It's for a Rob Savage movie called Dashcam. It's a Blumhouse film, which is a good sign. Blumhouse is very good in the horror genre. It's like a found.
What else?
It's a found footage. Blumhouse does like all the Halloween movies and everything. Like Blumhouse is known for horror now.
Okay.
But the movie's like a found footage. It's like filmed on an iPhone, and it's like a COVID lockdown horror movie. So I'm gonna just says film.
We've been waiting for those.
So it says film. Well, no, because like one of the things that we were doing when COVID first happened was we were going and skating all the government buildings in buildings you can't normally get away with because they were all empty. So we were just like, I would be out skating in downtown St. Paul and it would just be empty, and it was almost eerie and creepy. So these, I imagine that really, really smart filmmakers would have taken. I mean, a lot of like drone footage. People who shot drone footage were getting footage right away of like all the cities that were just empty after that happened, right? So a really good filmmaker who maybe has an idea on hand could have used the concept.
So interesting. I actually drove cross country at the height of the pandemic, and it was creepy. I loved it because there was no one else on the road, but it was really creepy to drive in LA and have no traffic.
So it says film director Rob Savage has claimed that his new film Dashcam will not be shown at View Cinemas. That's a British theater. That's theater TRE, not TER.
Oh, fancy.
Yes. I spelled it the American way in the thumbnail, just to be mean. Because it was deemed too offensive. Check out the trailer below and make up your mind for yourself. I do recommend you guys go watch it. It is an expertly cut trailer for the type of work that they're doing. The sound design is really, really good on it. But what I want to say is that I think that this is viral marketing.
Yeah,
I do.
Look at this.
I believe that this is a very, very cleverly done marketing campaign for a small budget film.
Interesting.
So it says, Savage took to Twitter to share the news of the film's cancellation at View Cinemas. Is it View or View?
View.
Probably View.
View would be no E. Ahead of its intended theatrical release of Friday, June 3rd. The point to make there is that it's not just June 3rd in theaters, it's also coming out streaming then.
Oh,
So I think he wants to do it to bump streaming numbers. It says he shared this along with a screenshot of his conversation with a representative of the cinema company. The film marks the latest release from the director behind the 2020 horror film Host. I heard very, very good things about Host. I have not seen it. And follows a musician named Annie Hardy, who breaks quarantine in Los Angeles to go visit her bandmate, played by Amar Chadha Patel, in London. The trailer alone was enough to divide fans over its content, and the representative speaking with Savage explained that View had decided to cancel screenings after staff members had a viewing of the film. So it says, apparently View Cinemas has canceled our screenings of Dashcam because the movie is too offensive. If that doesn't make you want to watch the film, what will? That was my first clue that it's
Interesting tweet.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
that
then
does
he
sound like
tweeted,
our
"Have you got
marketing.
your tickets to the
Yeah.
new movie banned by View Cinemas and rated 18 by the BBFC?" Is that sort of like our FCC?
So yeah, I imagine that's their rating system. It says, thank you for your question in regards to Dashcam. I have received feedback from our staffing screen, and they have decided we won't be showing Dashcam at any of our venues due to the contents of the movie, which may offend our audiences. We at View believe in diversity, and any movie which may offend audiences, we may decide to no longer show at the last second without notice. I'm sorry, this is not the outcome you were looking
I think
for.
this is fake.
Regards, Julie.
I think
it's a very cleverly done fake.
I don't think it's clever. They
I-
misspelled the word receive.
I mean,
This
I don't
is
know.
horribly written.
Do you think that they faked this screenshot?
I think so. Yes.
So
And
isn't
I'm
that
gonna say that
illegal
now.
to, like,
I don't know. I'm really curious.
show
what
Well,
they
who's
say.
Julie? Like, we'd have to know who the hell
Right.
Julie is.
some
Right.
company is saying something that they are not about.
Maybe he's in it with them.
That's what I'm saying. It would have to
Yes.
be in tandem with the company.
Right.
Otherwise, they'd be
Right.
like,
Getting
wait,
a
we,
cut.
we weren't gonna. They'd be like, we weren't gonna have your movie anyways. What are you talking about? He would have to know that
Right.
there wasn't going to be a statement to the contrary. But also, I love the part about her. It says we believe in diversity, which has nothing to do with what they're
What was the
talking about.
complaint?
It says, we believe in diversity in any movie which may offend audiences, which makes no sense. We may decide to no longer show at the last second without notice. It just feels like weirdly phrased and
Yeah.
and advertising like. So I think it's very clever, especially with lower budget films. You
Very
have to get
vague.
with lower budget films, you have to get clever with how you market your products. So it says in a message to the director, it says they reached out to View Cinemas for further comment on the decision. Though the cancellation may somewhat hinder those curious to see the film, Savage used it as a way to promote the title as he tweeted, apparently View Cinemas have canceled our screenings of Dashcam because the movie is too offensive. If that doesn't make you want to see it, I don't know what will. It says things take a dramatic turn for so they're going and they're talking more about the characters now. It
Right.
says because I was looking for like what is so offensive about this movie. I could not find anything.
Yeah, let me see. if
So
I
it says
can find
things.
It's like trivializing lockdown measures or
That's
something.
That's
do you want to pull up the
interesting.
comments on the
Yeah.
YouTube trailer and tell me if you see? Because when I looked at the comments for like the two versions that I saw, all of them were more like the complaints were more about like the filming style because it's done with a phone. It's
The
very
whole thing.
it's very jerky and
Right,
yeah, like
gotcha.
so it's very like it can make you sick if you're watching something
Someone
like that.
says, I'm loving this trailer. This looks like a feature-length panic attack. This looks pretty good.
Yep.
Can't wait for Demand at also theaters for June 3rd. And noticed Rob, who directed Host movie.
Yep.
I watched it on Shudder, but they're making the title of the movie. I don't know what that is.
So it says things take a dramatic turn for Annie's character in the film when she decides to live stream her actions for online viewers. Gee, I wonder what that's like.
Right, that'd be weird,
I can't
right?
imagine for online viewers. But Savage made clear that he wasn't concerned about the content of the film during the interview with NME, explaining, "I think if any genre should skirt the boundaries of being offensive, it's horror.
He's
What
correct.
is so offensive about
I
it?
don't
though?
see it. And here's what I do see. I see only less than 15,000 30,000 views on this trailer.
And there's more than one.
Okay.
And a couple of them have 30,000, a couple have 15,000. It's
That's
just
not that many.
It's clever marketing.
I think so too.
It says you likely. So this is an article that they wrote about it. It says Dashcam inside the year's craziest horror film. It says you likely won't see a more divisive horror film this year than Rob Savage's Dashcam. If the zeitgeist grabbing host recorded entirely, it says if the zeitgeist grabbing host recorded entirely on Zoom in 2020 during the first COVID-19 lockdown was best watched at all at a dark home. Dashboard is the exact opposite. So it's saying it's the opposite of that movie.
Right.
It cries out to be seen on Friday or Saturday night along with a packed and ready to be scared audience. A gloriously bonkers thrill ride. They use that quote in the advertising for the movie. Dashcam's unusual heroine is Annie, a foul-mouthed MAGA hat sporting anti-conformist and wind-up merchant.
Interesting.
Okay, I didn't know that part.
That's
Sick of
interesting.
California's COVID regulations, she pitches up to the UK. How do you pitch up to the UK? Could they?
There's no way to do that. You can't get across the seas. People aren't going to let you go.
She pitches up to the UK to ostensibly visit her friend Stretch, but ends up inadvertently smack bang in the middle of a supernatural yarn involving an elderly woman named Angela. The lead is played by podcaster, freestyle rapper, and giant drag frontwoman Annie Hardy. I'm playing an alt-right version of myself. I didn't know any of this. I'm
so
not
interesting.
I'm not as much of a dickhead myself.
This
she
is
reassures.
like if clickbait were a movie.
Yes,
This is incredible.
It says during our Zoom chat with her director to discuss their gory frolic. What she is though is a whirlwind ball of energy who delivers a tour de force performance in bad taste satire. So I get it.
Perfect.
I would think that it wouldn't offend UK audiences. Like, why would they? Like, I don't imagine them being as connected to that atmosphere
Well,
as we
U.S.
are.
politics are still very relevant.
The Independent reports that View denies canceling every screening of the new horror film due to its, quote, offensive content. This is
Beautiful.
from 7 hours ago.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Beautiful. So
Sounds
just
like
So we're basically playing into their hands.
yes.
it's so interesting, though. Like, I've never seen this done before.
That's a very clever thing to
Very
do.
clever.
Again, cancel culture, the product,
You
is
can
pretending
use
that you got
cancel culture.
canceled.
Yep.
Right.
We've been like, it's now going to be, it's like, come watch our offensive thing that other people say is offensive.
love
That
it.
it's too offensive, but it's not offensive, really.
Let's get back to transgressive content. Like, let's
Absolutely.
not just be safe and tame and uncancelable. Let's just do our own thing.
It says, if Dashcam offends you, maybe that's a good thing, says director Rob Savage. Like, it's just the most yawn-inducing. It says, the pandemic has been a miserable and traumatic time for so many of us,
Yeah.
but it did give Savage the opportunity to establish himself as a maestro of chills and thrills. The fluff pieces aside, I think that this is kind of a weirdly successful class in how to market a low-budget film, because they're not going to give him the money to put ads on every trailer you see or every at the movie theater. You're not going to see a bunch of Dashcam trailers playing at the movies if you go tonight, so they have to find other ways to do it, and that's kind of like what we've done for them here. And now, honestly, I kind of want to see it. I kind of do. I want to know what the Annie Hardy
the
is like.
marketing's working.
Yes, it's working. So is this something you guys would be interested in seeing?
Fascinating.
I mean, maybe. It sounds more like a horror comedy than anything actually scary.
Yep. So it reminded. Okay, and then that was the other thing. It was reminding me of other such movies. Do you remember The Hunt got canceled?
That was a great one.
Yeah,
I actually
but-
enjoyed that one.
But that one got pulled originally too.
Right. Similar components with
yes.
the MAGA hats and everything.
Yep, and then also there was The Interview, the one that was like a North Korean. Remember that with
The Interview?
Yeah,
Yeah,
with,
yeah.
was that Seth Rogen?
Yeah,
Yeah, so like in James Franco's canceled anyways. So cancel culture,
Apparently,
the
yeah.
the
Comes
product.
full
So
circle.
there's like this is like I feel like they might have looked at a list of this of like movies that had been previously pulled for whatever reason and thought we can use a way of marketing this to make that work. So I don't know.
Interesting.
I now I feel kind of like
I don't know.
hoodwinked.
It is a little bit annoying when they're trying to pretend to be transgressive when there's literally nothing.
It's so corporate of them. It's classic corporate nonsense. Oh, we're going to
Yeah.
pretend to be canceled. We're going to pretend they said we can't have our movie. But all the comments on all the trailers that I was able to see anyway were incredibly positive. People are very excited to see this movie.
The big thing we've been talking about lately is the idea that they're using the notion of you getting in trouble for something as a product now. It's something that they're going
I
to
don't
advertise and market to
Care
you.
for that. That's
Nope.
going to be
There's the
interesting to
notion
see how
of
that
your
pans out.
livelihood getting taken away.
We're gonna
We're gonna
trivialize it.
Big
monetize
old
that.
joke.
Yeah.
We're gonna trivialize it and make it have a way to market our low budget horror movie.
To be fair, maybe it will make it harder to cancel people. I don't know.
That would
Because
be
you don't know if it's real or not.
Yeah,
So you
interesting
can't listen to
twist.
the mob.
Yeah, I
that
don't
might be
know.
might be really
that could
smart.
be it.
We just flood the market with this
Yeah,
stuff
let's
rather
go.
than try to get rid of it. Just flood the market with it. So
Exactly.
like a
The
YouTuber
only
made
way to defeat
LFG.
cancel culture is to cancel everyone.
That's right.
a
one
YouTuber
is
that I
safe.
really like made that comment a while back. He goes, eventually everyone will have gone through this and it'll just be something that like everyone will be like, oh, I remember when that happened to me in the year of 2022, and that will be the thing that bonds people eventually, that they'll have all gone through something like this. So
yeah.
was there a super chat in there? There was a
There
couple.
was. St. Miles said, finally got to watch Pop Culture Crisis live. Keep up the great
Woo.
work.
Thank you, Miles. Or is it St. Miles? It's like Hannah Claire. I don't want to say
St. Miles?
St. Miles. So,
Yeah.
all right, Podluck in this very, very,
Let's go.
very
Chaotic.
chaotic and distracted episode that I'm actually having
It's a great time. Yeah.
more fun than I expected to.
Good stuff.
All right, so fans say Star Wars has double standard for defending Moses Ingram. Basically, the idea here is that she got some vile messages because she's playing, what's the character's name? I just watched the episode this morning.
Reva.
So she's playing Reva. Thank you, the third sister, and it's, the Grand Inquisitor. She wants to become the Grand Inquisitor in Star Wars. Blah blah blah.
She's like
And she's just
like former Jedi.
She's just kind of boring. Like that's the I was looking for it to be bad.
Her
It's not
acting
bad.
sucks. She just thinks if you have like no expression on your face that's intimidating.
acting. It's not.
No,
She's
she,
trying to be a male
Because she
lead.
has like no movement in her like the whole area of her eyes.
even this
like
photo
facial
here
paralysis.
shows like her eyes are very soft, and it doesn't translate to the type of character she's trying to portray. She needs intensity. Like the character is supposed to be ruthlessly ambitious and intense, and
She looks
instead she
bored.
just looks kind of bored.
Yeah.
I think it's
like,
supposed to
where's the
be.
anger?
It's supposed to look like she's methodical and terrifying, but it doesn't.
Psycho.
But it doesn't really come off that way. So it says some fans are saying that Disney Star Wars are guilty of a double standard after posting a public defense of Obi-Wan Kenobi star Moses Ingram for online racism and are wondering why the company didn't show similar solidarity with for actors John Boyega, Kelly Marie Tran, and Ahmed Best. They absolutely shouldn't have cut down John Boyega's role as much as they did. That was a tragedy what they did
was
to John
too bad.
Boyega in that trilogy. As bad as that trilogy was, it could have been 1,000 times better if they'd focused on him rather than on Rey. But basically, they point out that it says, while both statements are admirable, they're talking about there are more than 20 million sentient species in the Star Wars galaxy. Please don't choose to be racist. They're right. You should not choose to be racist. But it is frustrating. Do you want to set one off? That was my mistake. There's nothing in there.
Okay.
Brett's out of money.
Sure.
Brett's out of money. Can I just say that Star Wars is grotesquely cringe by
Yes.
saying, we are proud to welcome Moses Ingram to the Star Wars family and excited for Reva's story to unfold. Family, if anyone intends to make her feel in any way unwelcome, we have only one thing to say. We resist. Oh, snap.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I hate it so much.
The actress, I was trying to remember where I thought I'd seen her. She's in the movie Ambulance, the new Michael Bay movie Ambulance. She plays
Oh, stop. 2-in-1 show.
2-in-1 show. She
Awesome.
plays thank you.
Thank you.
She plays Yahya Abdul Mateen's wife in that movie.
Did she play well?
Fine.
Okay.
Like
Fine
she's not a bad actress. I don't think that the role is good for her. I said that they should have cast I don't know if anybody knows who Anjanou Ellis is. She's a bit older, like quite
I
a
heard
few
you
years.
mention her.
Yeah,
Dignified.
she's older than that character, but I've
Thanks.
Thank you.
twice in one episode.
I love it so much.
It's a beautiful thing.
That's awesome.
But Anjanou Ellis is a great actress, and she's older, and I think she would have done it wouldn't have worked timeline wise because the character needs to look younger than
Right.
that. But that was the first when I was watching the way she was walking and the way she was delivering her lines. The first actress I thought of was Anjanou Ellis. I would have loved to have seen her do that role. So they talk about this, about the Star Wars defense of it. In the comments, what's funny is like the insults that got sent to her. They're shitty, crappy stuff to say, but it's
Sure,
pretty
but
tame compared to
we
like.
all get crappy things
So it
said
says
about us.
it
Take
says
from me.
your days are numbered. I'm not going to read that one. I just passed. It says you
Technically.
suck, loser. You're a diversity hire, and you won't be loved or remembered for this acting role. It's not even clever. Like
It's not even bad.
I'll never understand the notion of like I understand not liking her in the role, but taking the time to like
well, now
message
they're
her.
just validating the stupid preachy stuff that
Yeah.
Star Wars is saying.
Exactly.
Can we not?
I understand that not liking her in the role. I'll never understand the
Thank you.
Thank
I'll
you.
never understand like the notion of like spending like the time. That's just not me, right? I'm not going to send anyone messages if I don't like their performance in something.
To circle back to what we were talking about earlier with like fake marketing stunts, to me, I am just going to go out and say it. This to me feels a little contrived.
If it is that they haven't read the
Are they
room,
bots?
No, they're
it's-
faking it.
To me, like if it is, that's the opposite of what they need to be doing. Like because they are already contentious with people about Star Wars and stuff
I feel like they're
this.
going for broke.
The Lucasfilm is a disaster right now. To take a property that's as famous and as powerful as Star Wars used to be and kind of devolve it into nobody's really excited about it. Like Obi-Wan Kenobi is like their highest viewed premiere of all time.
No way.
And it's just like, and it was all the reviews were tepid and kind of like
Yeah.
meh. So
Yeah, I don't believe it.
I don't get it. So it's
it's like they're not even trying anymore.
they're not. So it's like, and all of these, like all of the message that were sent are just very bland and not very awful. Like if this was the
Exactly.
worst of the worst, I
That's
imagine
what
she
makes
I
gets.
mean, it's
feel like it's
rude, but
contrived.
like,
yeah.
You're a public figure.
Yeah, I get worse than
Everyone
that every
gets
I would say
it.
I'm not justifying them saying it. I'm saying that like if that's the worst of it, like, dang.
But guess what? You're allowed to be rude to people, and believe it or not, people are actually allowed to be racist too.
They shouldn't, but yes,
Of course
in
not.
a
It's
free
morally
country, they.
reprehensible,
Yep.
but you can if you want to be, because thank goodness we have a First Amendment.
And by the way, speaking of Obi-Wan Kenobi, we are going to be reviewing episode
yes, we are.
episode 3
To drink
today
on,
after this
Mary.
show. When we get done, that will be up tomorrow.
Yep,
and
yep.
to be honest, I think I was going to give like a 30-second review. I'm not going to do that yet. You'll have to check out the clip. It'll be on the YouTube channel tomorrow. So
Yeah,
we will,
no freebies.
No freebies. We'll talk about that. All right. So Matthew Morrison fired for. So you think you can? So he's from So You Think You Can Dance. He was fired
he's
for
from
sending.
Glee, yeah.
He was fired for sending flirty messages to a female contestant. The reason I picked this is because yesterday we covered Cary Fukunaga, who is constantly getting in trouble for doing stuff with actors and actresses that he works with and doing the old director, like, maybe I'll get you a role and we'll do this and we'll do that, right? Like, so kind of like the women who are complaining aren't saying that he assaulted them. They're saying that he used his power over them to...
And that's bad. But like in
Sure,
this
but did
situation,
he?
this is literally him just flirting with female contestant.
But my point
Like,
here is
is that
um,
inherently
Oh,
holding
he was a-
something over someone's
He was a
head?
judge on the show.
he's a judge. So yes, it is.
Oh yeah.
I do. I'm saying, like, if like yesterday, I said maybe maybe these studios, instead of lecturing us, should start like implementing policies
their
that say,
own room.
if you're the director of this film, you can't be getting with a bunch of women on these sets because it leads to assault claims. It leads, if somebody like thinks you're gonna benefit their career and then you don't, it's going to
Right.
it's going to leave a shadow on the production. It's going to make it. Luckily, all the stuff for him, all the stuff about Cary Fukunaga didn't come out until after No Time to Die premiered. But had that stuff come out beforehand, what would have been said? It could have ruined the press for the movie. So why don't these studios just implement policies that tell them that these dudes cannot sleep with actresses on set?
They would just quit.
Yeah.
Is that what they're there for? You've got to wonder. I mean, if you just simply can't stop yourself,
Yep.
do you like your job that much that you, or like, do you have to distract yourself from what you're doing
You'd
to
think.
like hang out with a bunch of actresses
Who
and,
don't like- who you
hold
know-
it over their head that they have to flirt back in order to get a role?
And
Yeah,
who
I
you
don't
know
like that.
don't like you for you, but like you
Yeah,
for your.
yeah.
It's kind of a weird perversion of
They
like.
like you for themselves
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
their interests.
Oh, welcome to dating.
So it says Matthew Morrison's abrupt exit from So You Think You Can Dance last week was allegedly due to misconduct he exhibited towards a female contestant, according to a report. Morrison, age 43, was fired for being from being a judge on the show after he had an inappropriate relationship with a female contestant, a source told People magazine. The source went on to tell the outlet that the two never met up offset, but it was just the messages that crossed the line. They didn't have sex, but he reached out to her through flirty direct messages on social media. The source
Slid into
added
the DMs.
in the vernacular, he slid into her DMs.
That's right.
The source added, per the report, she felt uncomfortable with his line of comments and went to producers, who then got Fox involved. He was fired after they did their own investigation. I don't know if I would like to think that as adults we could behave like adults, but they clearly can't. So the network probably doesn't have a choice and had to do this.
Yeah.
Like-
I think there's probably some rule that he broke. That's what it looks like
You
to
think?
me. And probably something that Fox isn't mentioning. There's probably like an agreement that you're not maybe going to direct message the contestants. To me, that makes sense. Like if you're going to be a judge, you probably should be
Communication
like,
outside
right,
of the
exactly.
show.
Only in the show, only in the context of the show and
Do we have
framework.
video?
I don't know if we'll be able
Can
to
we
hear the.
play it?
I don't know if we'll be able
Oh,
to hear
there
the.
they
I don't know if we'll be
are.
able to hear the audio.
Let's see what we can get.
I don't know if we can. If anybody will be able to hear this. No, they
can't-
won't be able to
I
hear
can't
it.
hear it.
Yeah, we wouldn't be
We'll
able to
wait
play
until tomorrow.
it. Yeah, well, we'll figure it. We'll probably end up in the vlog, but we will have.
That looks like a good time. I love it.
Okay, guys, we'll show you
The
the
pirate
image.
hat.
That's
We,
great.
I will show you the image if I can download it here. Keep going. Keep making your point. You were talking about what they were talking about in the episode.
Yeah, to me,
Oh.
it just does sound like he broke a rule. And I don't see this as being that big a deal. This doesn't sound like cancellation. It does
I mean,
seem a
this
little
should
wrong.
be something that they think ahead far enough that these rules exist in every set.
Right.
But sets aren't normal workplaces, and it seems like certain people get a pass to do
Should
whatever
be
they
applied
want.
consistently. Yeah, that's
This
fair.
video you will be able to see tomorrow, guys.
Woo!
Do you have it on
Sneak peek.
screen?
Yes,
Love
but
it.
but you can't hear it, so
That's
but
okay.
we will have to. You'll have to.
We
got to
figure out the video,
Yeah,
the audio on your computer.
We'll have to, so that will be apparently that's Hannah Claire interviewing a pirate,
Love it.
which is perfect.
That's crazy.
amazing.
So I think the fact that he was a judge makes it worse.
That's hilarious.
Like-
Oh, might have been biased. Interesting.
Yep.
I'm
so
curious.
having the opportunity to be a judge and so you think you could dance was an incredible honor for me. He does his standard
Yeah,
departure.
whatever,
They kind of have
bye.
to do stuff like this. They have to do it, otherwise the stuff will happen even more.
Everyone should be like, look, these are the rules. If you break them, you're out. It doesn't
Yep.
matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. Bye.
But then who's the authority on that?
The company.
The producers of the company.
Yeah. The whoever runs the show.
If
honestly.
to keep bad press out of the hands, keep bad press from happening, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right, and we will finish it with Kim Kardashian.
Oh,
she did eat
gosh,
she
so
did eat
dumb.
the Beyond Meat.
No, I still don't want to believe it.
Yeah, you don't want to believe it, but she did.
Maybe she
She's
just
fake,
chewed it
so
and she
maybe.
just spit it out.
Spit it out. Yeah.
Nope.
Did they show her swallow it even?
Yeah. Let's see what.
She
video
doesn't look like she
posted.
she doesn't look like she eats food very often.
She's wearing lipstick. Okay, she can't like bite things.
Well, she
in a
just had to
break.
fit into that Maryland dress. That's why
That's
she's looking so
right.
snatched.
It's all the Beyond
Let's
Meat.
see.
They're like, now eat the food, but like sexy.
Of course. She's like, that means I can't actually eat it. I'm like, okay,
Did
well.
she swallow the food?
That's what I want to know. The real questions.
Oh my
Thank you,
God.
Mary.
No, she's just chewing it.
And carefully so she doesn't mess up her lipstick. I love it. I love it.
I can't get over it.
I know they had a
Gosh.
spit bowl.
Yeah.
They
seriously.
I
did
know
that.
they had a bucket.
Yeah.
They did that on the show iZombie. They have to eat like brains on that show, and it's made of. They said it was like the most to make the brains look like the
Oh,
brains they eat on the
gross.
show. They have to like
Ugh.
made it of this like weird, crazy like material, and so they'd have to do spit buckets after every
Gross.
take.
Why can't they do like, you know how
Jell-O?
remember there was a trend where they would like cut into things like this can
Oh,
and
Yeah.
it would be cake.
It would be
Yeah.
cake. Yeah,
Why
love-
can't they do that with the brains?
I love
That's
those
my question.
videos.
I know they're
True.
great. They're horrifying, but they're great.
So apparently, if you guys were wondering, she did in fact eat the.
I don't believe it.
I don't believe
I
her
know
either.
there was a spit bucket.
She
I
had
don't
her
believe you,
Appetite
Kim Kardashian.
surgically removed anyway. We all know that.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Oh.
There was some
I'm
super
just
chats
kidding.
there before we go.
So fake. Let's see what
Hava
we got.
Owen says should be renamed Controlled Opposition or False Flag. I don't trust it, crew. Keep your defense up.
He's talking about the
dash
movie
cam
Dash
thing.
Cam.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's his next
Thank
chat.
you, Hava Owens.
yeah.
He had one more.
Uh,
Star Wars lost it a
he had-
long time
he had
ago.
Two more.
Yeah.
Well, the other one he said the last comment was referring
Star
to
Wars
Dash
lost
Cam.
it a long
Yeah,
time
yeah.
ago, but there's hope. And then he
Mm.
said, lastly, he said, "I'm just kidding. I think it's time to
Yeah,
move on."
definitely. Yeah.
It is absolutely time to move. Look,
100%.
I'm watching it because we're reviewing it, and I kind of like I'm like forced to watch it, so it's like a little bit different. Like if I had started Obi-Wan Kenobi like on my own time, I would have turned it off after the first 20 minutes just because
I
the
would've
pacing
Turned it
was
off
so bad.
The first 30 seconds.
Yeah,
The-
yeah.
The pacing
I'm
is just really
actually
bad.
trying to give it an honest
Yeah.
chance, and it's just not good.
It's just not
It
working.
looks cheaply made.
Yeah.
Polish your alcoholism. Can I read one of these?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Sure.
Moses Ingram, first of all, welcome to Bots Online. But honestly, I would bet that Disney created those bots and comments themselves so they could pull the woke crowd in because they know this show is going to fail. Yes, and I think they needed her to be a victim. They're like, we have this bland, boring actress. How do we make her into the star of the show? I know we'll turn her into a victim, and we all know that victimhood is money now, so that makes perfect sense to me.
It's
It kind of shows if they can program these bots to say these things, they have worse thoughts than anyone else.
Yeah,
like
they're
any
literally
real
just
person is
projecting.
watching the
Thank
show
you.
and criticizing the show for valid reasons and criticizing her
Right.
acting because her acting sucks.
Exactly.
And it's a bummer, too, because I think that a lot of the times, I don't usually say it's the actresses. I'm more likely to believe that the writers in the material isn't there these days. Like, I find more problems with writing where it's like that actress maybe doesn't do well in that role, but I notice that most of that show does not do well, right? Like most of the dialogue doesn't work, most of the scenes don't work. Then an average actress or actor can only do so much with that. A good actor might be able to elevate horrible material, but or like a really good actor might be able to elevate horrible material to at least an average level, but you can't expect that of everyone.
It's a deadly combination of terrible writing and terrible acting. And Nathan goes on to say the quote, outrage is part of the product now. Show isn't doing too well. Make a couple bots message an actor to gin up a story about stupid stuff no one agrees with.
Tomorrow I'm going to be like, oh, I got all these hate messages about
They're
our new
probably
episode
just
of Pop
bots.
Culture Crisis.
We're
Look
like
at all these.
sending bots to
Yeah,
hate
we're all
on
like,
Pop
oh, let's
Culture
look at this.
Crisis.
Mary is going to create
Crisis actors.
Yeah.
Mary is
there you
going to
go.
create a fake account and start sending me hate mail so that I will.
That's awesome.
Yes, I can totally see it.
All right, Mary, you can read this last super chat.
Hava Owen says Kim eats a lot of meat and still doesn't swallow.
Excellent.
Ha ha.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Brett's
That's
lost
hilarious.
It. Bye, Brett.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah. Good work,
Okay,
everyone.
so that beautifully, and with that, we
Beautiful
will close
end.
the show.
Nice work.
Very wholesome, very
What
wholesome,
a
guys.
tasteful show.
great.
It was
today.
laugh at Amber Heard,
Yeah.
laugh at everybody. We did a pretty good discussion about Elvis, but the topic is
Yeah.
so disgusting that
Yeah.
it's like, it is what it is. It is what it is.
True that.
Lydia, thank you so much for bearing with us through the insanity
It
today.
was great to see the behind the scenes. I know that things get wild and crazy, and I know that when things come down to the wire, it can be really stressful and challenging. Brett, you did great.
Let everyone know where they can find you on social
You guys
media.
can find me on Twitter and minds.com at sourpatchlids. I'm also on Instagram at sourpatchliderman, which I know is very annoying to spell, Leitermann. And we also have the Lighter Dips on Instagram, which is where I post pictures of Andy and the cat, and they're very adorable. And I also have sourpatchlids.me.
That is a perfectly. That's a lot. That's
Yeah.
a lot. You can follow her pretty much anywhere, basically.
It's
is what
true.
she's saying.
It's true.
Mary, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram or WeChat at Closer Kitty. And I've also posted an article going into the details about that Priscilla Presley story today.
Very cool,
so
yeah.
you can go look at that. I promote my articles for timcast.com on Instagram.
Beautiful. Guys, you can follow me on Instagram at Brett Dasovic. For the show, remember, Monday through Friday right here on YouTube, 3 p.m., noon Pacific. If you're in California, you can eat a burrito and you can watch us. It's gonna be a lot of
Eat
fun.
a burrito.
That's just the first thing
That's what Californians eat.
Yeah, California burritos.
All
It's
of
the first
them.
thing I thought of. If you want to listen to us, we are on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify. I don't know why you wouldn't want to be here for all this hilarious fun, watching me lose my mind on air. It's a beautiful
Yeah.
thing. We are also on social media. We are on, what are we on? Instagram, at Pop Culture Crisis Pod. We are on Twitter, at PopCulture_show. We are on Facebook and TikTok, at Pop Culture Crisis. We will be back with another and hopefully more normal episode tomorrow. We will see you then, guys. Bye.
Bye.